taking fewer and fewer minutes to calm back down. Hell, maybe after a few weeks of being here, I won't have panic attacks at all. Fumbling for a light switch in the kitchen, I stubbed my toe on Lily's tiny Cars suitcase. It was still lying in the middle of the kitchen floor next to my duffel bag, where we'd tossed our luggage last night. In the light of day, our new kitchen looked different than it did last night. White paint on the cupboards looked yellowish and worn. The sink was rusty, and a slow drip of water ping, ping, pinged in the basin below. Looking around, I tried to imagine this kitchen as our own, baking cookies for Lily while she sat on the edge of the counter, kicking the backs of her heels against the cupboards below. Normally, I would make her get down, because Martin didn't like that. But now Lily and I can do whatever we want. And a run-down, drippy kitchen was better than any sort of kitchen we might share with Martin. A scarred wooden table with 4 chairs was set in the kitchen. There were other modest furnishings, too, a chair in the living room, beds and dressers in both bedrooms, which was one reason I chose this place. It was the perfect getaway spot, out in the middle of nowhere, and we didn't need to bring much to get started. The refrigerator and cabinets were still empty and in need of a good scrubbing. We'd grabbed some fast food on the way to West Virginia, but I hadn't wanted to stop at the grocery store yet. All I wanted to do was get us here. But now that we were, I'd have to spend the weekend making it as homey and comfortable as possible for Lily. We're doing this. We're starting over. This is our home now. For months, years, I'd imagined this moment. But then, it had just been a fantasy, a twisted version of hyper-reality. I never really thought I would leave. Even the night before we left, I'd expected myself to back out, to freeze, to panic and collapse in the middle of the street after loading our cases. But I didn't. And it wasn't until we were almost 100 miles outside of Granton that I knew it was really happening, that we were leaving Martin for good. My duffel bag lay sprawled open on the floor beside the table, from where I'd taken out my pajamas last night. We were so tired when we got here, to the point of delirium. It had taken nearly 10 hours to reach Norfolk, the rising hills and winding curves of West Virginia making me skittery and afraid. I couldn't stop checking the rearview mirror, and my heart was thrumming in my ears the entire drive. During the daytime, it hadn't been so bad. But at night, I'd imagined every pair of headlights were the angry, glowing orbs of Martin's truck, chasing us up the wild mountain roads. Lily had handled the move so well, believing me when I told her that we were going on an adventure. With her mousy brown hair and cornflower blue eyes, she looked just like Martin. But luckily, she hadn't inherited his meanness or his wild mood swings. Lily was, by all accounts, a normal 4-year-old girl. But that wouldn't have lasted long, not while living with Martin. Eventually, his violence would have moved onto her, seeping into her pores and saturating her life with his poison. She was innocent, so seemingly unaware, yet she'd already learned to fear her father and his unpredictable ways. And the way Martin looked at her, his eyes searching, evaluating her every move, it made me uneasy. I'm taking her away from her dad. What kind of mother does that? Emotions played tug-of-war inside me. I felt guilty for stripping her of her fatherly influence, but I was relieved, exuberant even, to give her a fresh, safe start in life. During the drive to Norfolk, I'd been so focused on getting away that the guilt hadn't had time to settle in yet. And last night I'd been too tired to stay up worrying. But now all those worries came rushing back at once. What will I tell her when she's older? Surely she will remember Martin. Will I tell her why we left? How much memory can a 4-year-old retain? I made the right decision, I told myself firmly for the 100th time this morning. Pressing my face against the window pane, my eyes scanned the backyard.